This episode of The Big 60 is brought to you by Inviva. Unlock the power of your home equity.
If you're old enough to remember when phones had cords and the only thing that went viral was a cold, then you're in the right place. Welcome to The Big 60 with Kaylee Harris and Guy Rawlinson. Because who better to discuss life's second act than two people who still think mature is a type of cheese?
Well, welcome to the Big 60. I'm Guy Rawlinson, and if you're pulling up a chair for the first time, grab a plate and get ready for a feast, because your co-host at the Talkfest buffet today is, of course, the wonderful queen of a la carte conversation, the wonderful Kaylee Harris. How are you?
I prefer queen of the buffet, if you don't mind.
Oh, I do like a good buffet.
I love it. I was going to write a book once years ago about the best buffets in Sydney, because my friends used to bag me mercilessly about my love of the buffet. I never got around to it, but...
I had a friend whose father went to a buffet for the very first time, and I think he was in his late 50s, and it was over at Panthers. If anyone knows Panthers, it's a big club over in Western Sydney. And she had to explain to him what a buffet was all about. And she said, oh, look, it's all you can eat. You can take whatever you want.
Yeah.
And he came back with a plate full of beetroot balls. That's it. That's it.
What are beetroot balls? Are they like the beetroot in a can, in a ball?
That's right.
Oh,
that's
my
right.
goodness.
He loved beetroot, but he also thought that it meant that you could only take one thing from the buffet.
But as much as you wanted
But as much
once.
of that, yeah. So instead of taking your pork or your roast, he just took a full plate of beetroot balls, and people were sort of looking sideways thinking, my gosh, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I remember taking Mum to the Star City. It's a casino here in Sydney, and the buffet there when that first came out 20 years ago. And for someone of that generation, of our parents' generation, to get their head around a buffet of unlimited food, you pay your money and you can have whatever you want. She couldn't get a head around it, so she would go and get a whole plate of cakes and slices, and then she'd fold them up into a serviette and shove them in a handbag. And I was like, Mum, you're not supposed to do that. You have as much as you want, but you're not supposed to take it home. That's not right. And she's saying, shut up, Kaylee. Shh, don't tell anyone.
Well, buffets have got a lot to answer for. We taught our kids how to act in a restaurant by going to Sizzler. When it was all the go back there in the, what was that? Was that the 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah.
And of course, they learned how you behave, but invariably it was the bacon bits, a little bit of pasta, and then how much soft serve can you pull?
Oh, the soft serve. That was probably the first time that we were able to do our own soft serve.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice segue, though, into what we're talking about today. And that's some of the sort of foods that we grew up with, some of the things that got put on our plates when we were way too young to probably understand what it was. And as my mum would probably do, she maintained that if you crumbed anything, people would eat it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Was there anything you grew up with that was a staple in your house, or maybe even the first foods that you remember?
Well, I think it was because your mum and dad didn't have much money, so it was the cheapest cuts of meat that you could get. So it was things like chicken wings and chicken legs and 30 ways with mince. So, it'd be different things, but just those cheaper cuts, because that's all we could afford, or meat that needed to be slow cooked because it was too tough, but it was cheaper at the butcher. So I remember that. But I also remember growing up, my parents eating offal and stuff.
Yes.
And Mum making ox tongue soup. And she would buy a tongue. Oh, it's so gross. I want to vomit thinking about it. She'd buy a tongue. You have any idea how big an ox tongue is? It is huge, because they give you all the bit that it attaches to. It's not just the tongue.
Oh, really?
It's oh, my God, yeah. And she'd put it into a saucepan and she'd boil the crap out of it all day. And it wouldn't, in a bigger saucepan, it wouldn't fit. So half the tongue would be hanging out the top. And then halfway through, she'd have to turn it around so that bit got cooked. But you come home from school with a friend and there's a tongue boiling on the stove. And it'd be like, oh, this is so embarrassing.
Oh my gosh! Does that mean the friend didn't talk while they're in your house because they're thinking, "Look what happened to the last person that came to
That's
Kaylee's
right.
house"?
I think they just ran out in terror.
Oh my!
After that,
gosh,
yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember my mum gave us lamb's tongues one night
Yeah.
for dinner, and she crumbed it, of course.
Of course, yeah.
But told us, don't ask what it is, just try it first, and you'll like it. And I'm thinking, well, when you get that. The don't ask what it is. You know you're supposed to know what it is, but it's not going to be a good
Or
thing.
if you do know what it is, you won't eat it.
That's it.
Like tripe, I ate tripe for years before I finally said to Mum when I was about 8, what is this? Because I loved it.
Did you have it in white sauce?
Absolutely. White onion sauce, and it was so good. And then when she told me what it was, I've never touched it since.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think I ever had tripe. Dad liked tripe.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether that... And offal was a big thing, though,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Whether it was ox tongues, lamb tongue, tripe, lamb's brains. Dad was into lamb's brains as well.
And they used to come in a tin. Do you remember you could get lamb's brain in a tin, like those little Heinz or something would... And Dad would heat it up and then put it on toast.
Really?
Yep. I remember that, and it was awful.
Lamb's brains in a tin?
Yep. And things like liver and kidney and stuff. Oh, I can't do it.
No. That was a big sort of, what do you call it, not so much the meat and 3 veg, although that was the staple in the house, if you're lucky.
Why did it have to be 3 though? Was there some sort of thinking behind 3 veg as opposed to 2 or 4?
I think it was if you had something that was green, something that was white, and something that was yellow.
I know, but what's with that?
I
Is that an English tradition? Is that where that came from?
It probably was. I never questioned it.
Because you'd have your potato.
Yeah, you'd have your potato, and then you'd have like your carrots and your peas.
Yep. Or you'd have pumpkin.
Yep.
And maybe some beans or something like that. Because this is before broccoli was a thing.
Before nouveau cuisine,
Yeah.
sort of, hybrid vegetables.
Yeah.
So I had a disdain for peas, and you'd sort of try and hide them under something.
Oh, I love peas.
Oh, did you?
Didn't you? Did you flick them across the table at your parents and stuff?
You kidding me?
Oh, okay. Okay. My sister and I would, get in all sorts of trouble for that.
But that whole growing up thing, you used to get it from your grandparents who used to talk, we used to have bread and dripping. And that was
what
it.
what is bread and dripping?
Well,
is it like butter and bread and butter, or is it like some sort of fatty?
Yeah, that's all it was. It was the dripping was if you were cooking whatever the oil was left in the, and I think we all had those little tins that used to sometimes go in the fridge and used to be dripping and whatever, and you'd cook your chips in it or whatever later on.
Ew.
But they used to just heat it up, and they'd have white bread, and you'd put like smear dripping over the top of it, and away you went. Yeah.
Oh.
I know, health conscious, and yet they probably lived until their 80s and 90s, and didn't do too much in the way of I need to check the food chart to see whether this is good for me.
The food triangle.
Yeah.
How much of this should I be eating every day?
Yeah. The first food that I remember having that was like a thing was also bubble and squeak.
Now, bubble and squeak, we didn't have this growing up, and I've always been curious as to what it was. What is bubble and squeak? Is it
whatever was left over from the night before, essentially?
so you just chop it up,
Yeah.
throw an egg in to make it all stick together, and then chuck it back in the pan? Is that how it works?
So if you had your 3 veg,
Yeah.
and there was like potato and some whatever,
Mm.
just put it in the fridge, pull it out the next day, mix it up with a sort of an egg, and put it on toast or something the next day. And you think, bubble and squeak, what's that? Sort of aged just to perfection.
What about the Sunday roast? Did you have that at your place? We often had a Sunday roast, and it was for lunch or dinner, and so good. This is before, I think, and we used to have lamb before it cost a fortune, when lamb was not an expensive meat back in the 60s.
Yeah, we used to have it at the great aunts. We'd go around to the great aunts, and they would do the Sunday roast. And whether it was lamb or silverside, I don't know if you ever had silverside.
Yeah, grew up on silverside, love it.
Yeah, me
Corned
too.
beef, yep, love it.
But you have to boil that, don't you? Silverside to...
Yeah, my mum boiled it. I still cook it today, and the kids love it. But it's I put it in the slow cooker.
Yeah.
And just let it do its thing for 8 hours, and it's fantastic with a white sauce.
But it's an old thing, isn't it?
It's a very old recipe.
Yeah. I tried making it in the microwave once when I think we first got married, and I didn't realise that you actually had to
boil it for so long.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Tripe and onion sauce, I know you mentioned that. Something that probably even people older than us, I had it because Dad liked it, was rabbit.
Oh, look, we never had rabbit, but my grandfather used to bring it home to my grandmother and bring home rabbit, and she'd have to do the whole thing to it. I don't know how the women from those days were just next level amazing, but she'd have to skin it and do all of those things, and they'd have rabbit. Yeah.
So he would catch it, would he? Would he
Yeah,
catch
I
it?
think so.
Or-
I don't know where it came from, but he would catch it and she'd have to do the rest. And the same with the chickens in the backyard. He'd bring one up, chop its head off, give it to my grandmother, and she'd have to produce dinner with it.
Oh, I don't think I could do that.
No.
Like-
I mean, how amazing were our parents and grandparents having to do that? And, whereas these days we can't even bear to think of an animal being injured or being shot for us to eat.
That's
you
right.
You just can't. I can't go there.
No, and to have, look, we're going to go out and go to Mabel the Chook and...
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, this is your last day on the planet, Mabel, and it's on the plate that night.
Yep.
And probably on sandwiches or something the next day. And Mabel forever lives in our soul or our belly there for a couple of days at least. But I don't know that I could do it.
I don't think I could do it.
Could you imagine getting kids today, though, to say,
Yeah.
look, can you just go at the back and...
Get the chook and
Yeah.
we'll have it for dinner. I don't. Couldn't do it.
But that's a city thing, perhaps, because you look at kids in the bush and they understand completely
Yep.
where their lamb, their beef,
Yep.
everything comes from, and what
Yep.
it all, and that's why they're bred in the world, not the kids, but the beef.
Yeah.
And that's just a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing, isn't it? And going back to the roast and the Sunday roast and everything, my mum would have gravy with everything. Absolutely. If it was a white gravy, white onion gravy, or a normal gravy, there was gravy on absolutely everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And-
Which I loved. Yeah.
Yeah. Desserts, and we'll come back to some of the things like rissoles and all in a minute. Bread and butter pudding is still a favourite of mine, and I had a look the other day, and I knew that it was made from stale bread, essentially.
Yep.
But these days, you go somewhere, and I'm sure it's called something other than bread and butter pudding, but you pay a mozza for
Yeah.
like your rice puddings and your bread and butter puddings, and that was a staple years and years and years and years ago. If you didn't have a dessert, that was like a poor man's dessert.
But that was a dessert, a bubble and squeak dessert.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? You used leftover sultanas or whatever and stale bread, and you could make but there's a little patisserie near me here that sells bread and butter pudding, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so good, all those old style things.
But it is an old man. My gosh, did I even say that out
Bit of
loud?
reflection there, was it?
But that was just a poor man's dessert.
Yeah.
Both of those things, and they've outlived that because there are so many things that we had growing up that just had to go the distance.
Yeah.
And whether it was rissoles and mince,
Yeah.
you'd go to the butcher and you get your kilo of mince, and something that I'd learnt from my mother was that if you put, I think it was like oatmeal in with the mince, it doubled
The volume of it.
The volume of it.
Yeah.
So, and you never really knew.
You'd get extra.
You'd get extra, and no one
Yeah.
really.
Well, I think my
complained.
mum did the same thing with breadcrumbs. She would put breadcrumbs in to make it go that little bit further.
Yeah.
And speaking of desserts and old school desserts and inexpensive desserts, what about you can't go past your ice cream and Milo, or my other go-to, ice cream and jelly.
Oh, ice cream and jelly and a punch in the belly is what my
What's going on
auntie-
at your house?
My auntie Rube would say that all the time, and like all the kids would have to laugh because if they didn't, well, there was a
punch in the
chance-
belly, yeah.
There was either a chance of a punch in the belly rather than the ice cream and jelly. Wow! But Milo and ice cream, you were rich.
That was, tin of Milo, sprinkle a bit on top, and
Wow!
so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Something that I used to get ridiculed for, but I found out was actually a thing, is, the really thick sweetened condensed milk.
Yep.
Really, I used to put that on toast and bread and think it was just the ants' pants.
Sweetened condensed milk,
Yeah, sweetened condensed milk out of a tin
and you would spread it on toast.
on toast or bread. I don't know how I came across it. I'm guessing must have been something Mum sort of told me about,
Yeah.
because there's no way a 5-year-old would have thought this is a great idea.
Yeah.
And back then you needed a can opener
Yep.
to open the tin because there was no ring pulls on the tins then. But I had a look online, and that was a thing. That
Yeah.
was a thing from almost the war years.
I have heard of that. I've heard of people drinking sweetened condensed milk straight out of the can, and yeah.
Oh my gosh, straight out of the can.
Yes. What about when your folks entertained at home? You know, maybe mum or dad's boss came round for dinner, and you'd get really fancy things like prawn cocktails. Remember when they came out in the 70s? And you'd have all the prawns in a cocktail glass with some lettuce and some seafood sauce, and that was considered very French.
That was very ritzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must
Yeah.
have had to impress some very high sort of falutin people.
Yeah, well, the boss, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, this, can we have this every night?
Did you have the little prawn forks that went with it?
Yeah, little cocktail forks that went with it. But before that, before you had the prawn cocktail, the horse's duvers that would come out before that would be everything on a toothpick. So it'd be like a bit of salami and cheese on a toothpick, or a little bit of pineapple and an olive or something. But everything had to come on a toothpick.
Did you have the Devon with the mashed potato rolled up
Oh yeah,
on the
definitely.
toothpick?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
that was
was next
classy.
level.
Yeah, that was classy.
Yeah.
Place if you
Yeah.
had that with the pickled onion in the top usually.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. Did you have a fondue set?
This episode is brought to you by Inviva. Over 55 and own your home? Inviva lets you access your equity with no regular repayments, so you can stay in the home you love. Visit inviva.com.au. T's and C's apply.
We did have a fondue set in the 70s, yep, and that would only come out at special occasions as well. And it was the chocolate one, not the cheese one.
Oh.
So, yeah, you could dip, and just to be able to dip anything you liked in chocolate and eat it was just so good.
Ox tongue?
No, definitely not.
Oh, so you draw the line somewhere.
Well, yeah, yes.
Oh, okay. Ever have Spam?
I tried it once. We didn't grow up with it, but I did try it after hearing about it for so much. And, you know, in the 70s and 80s, I tried a bit of Spam.
It's still out there.
It is still out there.
And I haven't had it for 30 years maybe.
I was not sure what you did with it. Did you toast it? Did you put it in a pan, or could you eat it raw, or could you... all of the above.
You could fix a carburetor with Spam.
There you go.
It would do anything. You could crumb it, you could fry it, you could just chop it up like luncheon meat. You could do anything with Spam.
Yeah, and what was it? I think it was just like different... No, let's not even go there. Let's just leave that. No one needs to know.
Butcher's floor, I'm thinking whatever came off the butcher's floor, which is a whole other story, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it must be edible. It must have passed some sort of food of thing, because if it's still in a tin, and you can spicy Spam now, so I don't even know.
Spicy Spam?
Spicy Spam.
Well, Dad used to eat, because my dad was weird, but he used to have, you could buy this, I think it was Master Foods deviled ham spread.
Ooh, I like that.
And it would come in a little tin, and it would be this red paste, and you could put it on. I think there's a fish one as well. There's a anchovette. Anchovette.
Yep.
There's one of those as well that were all big in our house, and also in the same section of the supermarket, Cheese Whiz, which was creamy cheese. Spread for your toast. So overprocessed, so bad for you, but gee, it tasted good.
Wow, I want to get some of that. Is that what that used to come out of a tin or a...
No, it was in a jar.
Yeah, right.
Cheese Whiz, and you'd spread it on your toast.
Nice. Did you used to wash it down with, say, Tang, the
or Ovaltine,
the powdered orange juice that you just put in water? How good was that?
How bad was that for you?
That had all the nutrients any kid could need.
Tang. Oh my goodness.
Nothing wrong with Tang.
Oh.
No, okay.
So bad.
Time to move on. There's something that I used to have as a kid, and Mum used to call it blancmange.
Oh, now hang on. I think I know what you're talking about. So it's like a jelly, but a creamy jelly.
Yes.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, blancmange, yeah.
Was that the
very,
name?
Very fancy. Very French.
I think it's probably the name. I don't know whether
I think that is the name of it.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm wondering what may have actually been in it, and she just called it blancmange.
Yeah, no, I think it was blancmange, and because I remember my mum dished it up once or twice, and it was pink.
Yes.
Why pink? I guess it looks better than green or brown.
But we used to have in a fancy, like very fancy, glass sort of thing, and that's the only time you could use those if you had blancmange.
But it was also one of those foods that came in moulded dishes. Like remember moulded salmon? So like a creamy salmon, and you'd have a moulded plate, and you would put it in there. It would set in there like the blancmange. So moulded salmon was a thing.
Oh.
And it was, I know, don't give me that face. I know, it was disgusting.
Moulded salmon?
Yeah, so when I say moulded, because it just was in a moulded container.
Oh, okay.
So in a bowl in a container or a dish that was shaped like a fish.
Oh, okay. So in a fish mould.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
Right,
Fish
okay,
mould, and
right.
it would be salmon and cream and whatever else, and it'd be like a blancmange.
Oh, I just like
Very
the word
fancy.
blancmange now.
I know.
I want anyone out there know how to spell blancmange without actually looking it up? I don't know.
I wouldn't have a clue. No. Very fancy.
Yeah. Speaking of junket, does junket mean anything to you?
Absolutely. Whoever named junket, honestly, what an idiot. You're trying to create a dessert that'll appeal to people and you call it junket.
Yeah.
But wasn't that similar to blancmange?
we probably had a lot of junket, but it was just called blancmange.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there you go. Your mum, it probably was junket, but she changed the name.
Yeah, because they were just little tablets, weren't they? Junket tablets, weren't they? And they used to mix it with milk and stuff. I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but what a stupid name for food.
Yeah, like I wonder what names they said. Yeah, no, that's not going to fly, mate. I think, junket.
Junket, that'll work.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, fried bread. I don't know if you've ever had fried bread.
I can't say I have.
Yeah, mate.
Did you?
Well, yes, but it wasn't called fried bread. Mum didn't call it fried bread. And it was like day-old bread. Because back then, the bread used to come in like greaseproof paper rather than plastic in the middle. And you used to put dripping or oil into a pan, and it used to have a really nice, sweet sort of coating on it, and it tasted fantastic.
What was the coating?
Well, I think it was just the dripping that was on the outside of the bread.
So it was just like fried bread, like crunchy bread.
Yeah, and then you could put like honey or anything on it, but it because you've got the fried stuff around the outside, it sort of all melded into something different.
Well, that and bread and butter pudding are two things you can do with stale bread, right? And when you think I read somewhere that bread is the most thrown out product now that we have because our appetite is for fresh bread all the time. So more bread gets wasted than anything else.
I didn't even know bread was on drugs.
Yeah.
Wow, even bread get wasted these days. That's a dad joke.
Yeah, it's a dad joke.
Yeah. But this fried bread, I'd never heard of it. And we went to there was a place over in the northern beaches of Sydney called Smoky Dawson's Ranch.
Oh gosh, yes.
Which is probably another podcast in some of those places we went to as kids. But they had an Indian inverted commas there where and I remember his name. His name was Ribby Sunrise, and I'm sure Ribby probably lived at Allambie Heights or somewhere like that. And had the whole stereotypical feathers and everything, and they made Indian fry bread. And
so when you say Indian, you mean feathers, not dots?
I mean feathers, not dots.
Right, okay. I was confused then for a minute. I was thinking, that doesn't sound like a very subcontinental name to me.
No, sorry, thank you.
Ribby Sunrise, okay.
Ribby Sunrise, and I got my photograph taken with Ribby Sunrise, and he made this Indian fry bread, and Mum came home and made Indian. It was just basically stale bread in oil and cooked up, and then, but give it a fancy name and say that it belonged to, your traditional sort of Red Indian sort of
Look at
population.
us go, yeah.
And away we go. Look, how
Yeah.
culturally astute are we?
Yeah, that's right.
So we don't just have blancmange, but we're actually eating,
Yeah.
stuff from the North American continent that's come from the original inhabitants. Wow, the Rollisons are doing
Who probably
very
never
well.
eaten it ever.
Never. They never had the 3-day-old stale bread, or I don't know, but
Yeah.
But all those things. Is there anything else that you remember having as a kid?
Well, I remember a lot of. I feel like my mum's generation and probably your mum's generation as well were capable of so much more in the kitchen than we are. Like they would have to stew their own apples, whereas these days you just buy everything in a tin already stewed just to make it. You don't have to stew your own stuff. You don't have to make your own jam if you've got an orange tree out the back. It's all, you can just buy that stuff. So I feel like my generation has lost the ability to be able to make all those things that our parents and our grandparents could do.
Yeah, the jars with the gingham things and pickles and marmalades.
Yeah.
And if you go to a fete people just lap it up because they think, it's homemade. But that was just part of the course.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what everyone did,
It's like knitted jumpers and crocheted this.
Yeah.
And it's that lost art that, because you can just go down to the supermarket, down to, your Coles, your Aldi, your Woolies, your IGA.
You can buy it, it's already ready to go.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that whole, and whether it is marmalade, whether it's sheep's tongues, whether it's ox tongues, I don't know that you can still get that in a tin. What was the thing you had in a tin?
Lamb's brains, Dad had. Yeah, I don't think you can get that. I think there was the market dropped off that. But I'm sure you could go to the butcher and say, can I have some lamb's brains? And he'd make it happen.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. Would the butcher still call you love and darling, though?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Butchers always do that. They're taught that in butcher school.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Time for us to go.
Again?
Yeah, all right. I'll catch you at the buffet.
See you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed on the Big 6-0 are personal and reflect those of the hosts and guests. They do not represent the views or positions of any affiliated organisations or companies. This podcast is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be construed as professional advice. Please consult with a qualified professional for guidance on any personal matters.
And before we go, let's give credit where credit is due. Kaylee Harris and I came up with all the genius content for this week's episode. Our producer, Nick Abood, well, he keeps the lights on and makes sure we don't accidentally upload a cat video instead of a podcast. So thanks for keeping us on track, Nick. Nick?